You didn't choose that symbol. Not really. Your rational mind didn't sit down, weigh the options, and hand you a logical verdict. Something older moved first. Something that lives way below your thoughts, below your words, below the story you've been telling yourself about who you are. Jung discovered that symbols don't talk to your conscious mind. They talk to the thing underneath it, the part of you that was formed before you had language, before you had armor, before you learned how to perform. That pull you felt, that wasn't random. That was a message from your own psyche. And what it's trying to show you might be the most important thing you hear all year. So let's go through them, one by one.
You've been calling it growth, but look closer. Same patterns, same arguments, same type of person showing up in your life with a different face. Same wound, different day. The spiral feels like evolution because you're moving. There's momentum, there's sensation, but you're not actually arriving anywhere new. You're circling. And somewhere deep inside, you already know that. Your unconscious chose this symbol because it's done being patient with you. It's not asking you to reflect anymore. It's begging you to break the loop entirely. Every achievement, every milestone, every next level unlocked, it all feels like proof that you're moving forward. But your psyche knows something your ego refuses to admit. You're not ascending towards something. You're escaping from something. And whatever lives at the base of that mountain, whatever you left down there, it's still there, waiting, growing heavier while you collect wins up top. Your ambition is real, but ambition and avoidance wear the same shoes. The mountain doesn't promise peace. It promises another peak, and then another, and the exhaustion of a man who can never stop, because stopping means facing what's below. Your unconscious picked this because you're suffocating on victories that don't actually fill you. The complexity feels like depth. The confusion feels like mystery. You tell yourself you're on a journey, that you're still figuring things out, that you're not ready yet. But here's what your shadow knows. Being lost is safe. A labyrinth has no dead ends you have to commit to. You can wander forever and call it searching. The darkness feels profound because you haven't turned the light on. Not because there's no light, because the light would mean deciding, committing, becoming something specific, and leaving other options behind. Every "I'm still figuring myself out" is really "I'm too afraid to choose." The labyrinth isn't your path, it's your hiding place. You're standing at a door, hand on the knob. You can feel the weight of both worlds, the life you've built behind you and the life you could build in front of you. And you stand there, almost deciding, almost committing, almost crossing, for months, maybe years, maybe your entire adult life. The threshold feels like a spiritual position, like you're in sacred limbo, honoring both sides. But the truth is simpler and harder than that. You're terrified. Crossing means dying, the death of who you've been. And that death is real, even when what's on the other side is better. Your psyche chose this because staying at the threshold is slowly becoming its own kind of death. Slower, quieter, but just as final. You've been searching for yourself in other people's eyes your whole life. Every relationship, every friendship, every room you walk into, you're scanning, measuring, adjusting, trying to see who you are and the way people respond to you. But you will never find your real face in a mirror held by someone else's hands. You'll only see their version of you, their projection, their need. Your psyche chose this symbol because it's exhausted from outsourcing your identity, from shape-shifting to fit every room, from being everything to everyone and nothing to yourself. You've never looked at your own reflection without immediately wanting to change something.
These aren't personality types. They're not labels to tattoo on your personality and carry forever. They're psychic states, snapshots, exact coordinates of where you're stuck right now in the process of becoming yourself. The spiral person today might be standing at the threshold in 2 years. The mountain climber might finally stop and look in the mirror next decade. These states move, they shift, they're alive. Your symbol isn't your destiny, it's your diagnosis. And a diagnosis is actually good news, because it tells you exactly where the work needs to happen. The symbol you didn't choose, the one that bored you, repelled you, made you feel nothing, that one matters just as much, maybe more. That's your shadow symbol, the archetype your ego refuses to touch, the state your conscious mind looks at and says, "That's not me." Jung found that what we reject in symbols reveals what we've rejected in ourselves. The image that left you cold is showing you the exact door your soul most needs you to walk through. You didn't avoid that symbol by accident. You avoided it because somewhere inside, you know what it would ask of you. First, don't wear the symbol like a new identity. That's the ego hijacking the process. "I'm a labyrinth person" is just a cooler sounding mask. That's not integration, that's decoration. Second, sit with the image. Seriously, not for 5 seconds, for real. Close your eyes, bring the symbol into your mind, and ask it directly. What are you trying to show me? What am I refusing to see? What would I have to change if I fully accepted what you're pointing at? This is what Jung called active imagination, a direct dialogue with your unconscious. Not interpretation, not analysis, conversation. The symbol becomes a door, and through that door, your psyche finally gets to speak in a language you can hear instead of defend against. Most people will take this, identify with their symbol, maybe share it with a friend, and move on. It becomes content consumed. Nothing changes. The few, the actual few, will sit with what just got revealed, will feel uncomfortable with what their symbol showed them, will sense something shift in the way they see their own patterns. If you felt something watching this, not entertainment, but recognition, then you already know the work is real. Subscribe, not for more content, for more confrontation. Because next time, we're going into the shadow symbol, the one you didn't pick, the one that's been running your life from the basement while you lived upstairs pretending it wasn't there. Stay with it. The descent is just beginning.